Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to the Academy Answers podcast, where we answer the questions on personal development, on success and happiness, on personal finance, anything that has to do with designing a life that you would be happy to live, that you will not have regrets about. They say that 20 years from now, you'll have more regrets about the things you didn't do than the things you actually did. And that's powerful, and that is so true. So you must think of doing what it is that your heart desires, doing what it is that will optimize your life for a better future, something that you dreamt of when you weren't so logical. You know, when you dream, when you're young, you don't think of whether it's going to happen, how it's going to happen. You just dream of it and you desire to go there. A lot of times our problem is that we are trying to figure out how we're going to get there, when the real thing or the real idea to base your actions upon and your life upon is not how you're going to get there, but why you want to get there and the strategies that are involved that others use, the proven principles that has gotten there before. You know, a lot of times we don't like the weird stuff. We don't like the things that are not sexy. We want to hear the quick fix microwave way. And when we don't get that, we either don't bother or we turn back. Or when it doesn't allow us to fit in, when it's not comfortable, when it's not what everyone else is doing, we are not tied into that. So this question I get from someone, and you know, this question is kind of unorthodox. Oh God, these words kill me. But I love it, and it's something that's really touching, because I come from such a humble background where I never had shoe to wear to school, and we walked 3 miles to the bus stop to get to high school. At that time I had shoes, but when I was going to grade school I didn't have shoes. We just have one shoes, and it was for church, so we'd have to wear that shoes to church, only to church, and then to school we'd go bare feet. I tell you, at one point when I got some shoe that I could wear to school, I used to take them off and hide them after I leave the house, because when I go to school, everyone else or most kids were without shoe. So if you wear shoes, you'll be considered soft. So I actually didn't want to wear shoes. So, you know, so the question is, I am saving for my business, Lowen, and I want to know if I can take a vacation. I feel so tired. I need money to start my own thing. I'm working on it. I have this money, but I need a break. I don't know what I should do. It's really, you know, so dear to me that I reached out to you and asked you, because I hear you talk so much about to make the sacrifice you need to make and the discipline you need to have. You know, that's a real issue for most people. What do I do? How do I live? And I'll just give you a story to help you form a type of backdrop to that. So I met this lady, this older lady, she's probably in her 80s now, and we got talking. I think we were talking about Hawaii. I went to Hawaii for my honeymoon. It was beautiful. We went there, we went to Kauai, and there's this beautiful property over there. I don't get an affiliate commission for this, but this property is oh my God, I tell you what the property is. The property name is... Jesus, I don't even remember. These guys will make a real... If I remember in this thing, I'll just tell you when I remember. But it's a really nice property, and we went over there. So hotel chain, they have a couple of hotels, it's high end, and we went there. We made a sacrifice. We never had a lot of money at that point, and we made the sacrifice. We had some money. We made the sacrifice, and we went there on our honeymoon. I met this lady. And she was talking, we got talking, and she was saying that she went to the same island. And she said they went there when they were 6 or 7, she and her husband. But she was telling me the story that it turned out that the flight was too long. It wasn't as short as they expected, and they got some delays. And when they were taking the plane, because you got to get off the plane in Honolulu, which is a major airport, it's a huge airport, and you get on a smaller plane, like maybe a 15-seater, 18-seater, that connects you to the smaller island, whether it be Kauai, whether it be Maui, whether it be Waikiki, one of those, you know, whatever smaller islands. There's a bunch of smaller islands. So she said that by the time they got to Honolulu, they were already tired, 6 or 7 years old, And then when they got on the small plane, it was awful for them. They got this motion sickness stuff. And by the time they get off, it was another long drive, because I believe when I got off in Kawi, it took me half an hour through the countrysides to get to the hotel. And then she said by the time they woke up the next morning, that went into the night, they woke up next morning, her husband was feeling sick. They were trying to do a tour that they paid for. He couldn't do it because there was a lot of walking, and then he had to stop and turn back midway. And by the time they went to go around the property, he was already feeling sick. She was exhausted, and they just couldn't enjoy it. So she said this vacation we went on was after 30 years. We didn't go anywhere, and we decided we'd go to Hawaii. We always wanted to go. And then it became so late in their years that they couldn't even enjoy it. I'll tell you what. I don't know your total financial makeup. You could message me and we could talk about it. But listen, my policy is you don't have to have all the cake that you have in the fridge at home, just using a scenario. You could taste it. Don't wait until the end of the week to have the entire slice of cake. Taste it now. You got to brush with the good life. You got to rub on the good life, touch the good life, flirt with the good life, taste the good life every now and then. I'm not saying that if you have $10,000 save up and you're $5,000 away, you should go on an $8,000 vacation. But start to narrow down on what you want to do. Let's say you would like to go to the Chic in DR, you would like to go to a Royalton or a Sandals all-inclusive resort or anything like that. That's going to cost you $5,000, $6,000. Okay, what comes with that type of resort? You're going to get all-inclusive, there's a tropical stuff, all that stuff. You could start to research vacations. What you do, go on Booking, Expedia, start to put in dates, start to look at package deals from Mexico, which is a really look, I love vacations, so I'm in tune with all of this stuff. Start to look in Mexico, which has really good rates. Start to look at Costa Rica, which has nice weekend getaways that are cheaper. Just punch in the dates, look at them. What these sites will do, they will cookie you. They'll retarget you. And then when you're on Facebook, when you're on other sites, when you go on Google, they will send you ads for deals. So when they start a discount or when they start a heavy discount, you will see something come up. And you could do something like a weekend for like $1,500, $1,200. If you don't want to get into the $1,000 bracket, kind of look in your city, look for Marriott, look for a Hilton, and book the presidential suite. Upgrade the room. Take the next upgrade from the regular room. That's going to cost you $100 more, $200 more. It will get you into that feel, and you'll be able to order out, or they might have a restaurant that you go to. So you could spend $500 or $400 for 2 nights or whatever, and just get out of your zone, take the break, put down your computer, put down your social media, and go out there and feel that life. That will help to motivate you to go harder. Life has no guarantee, my friend. Life has absolutely no guarantee. You're saving up for this business, but who knows what's going to happen? You never know what's going to happen. You could lose money doing anything, and you could lose money doing nothing. And I have to do a podcast on that one day about how poorly thought out the idea of not taking any risk is. The idea of holding on to your money because you don't want to lose it. I'll do a podcast on that. It's going to be a really interesting one. Look out for it. But I'm just telling you that so you know that, look, if you want to taste life, you got to live your life in such a way that you taste the good life. Don't wait on the good life, because you don't know what might happen. Your business might take 15 years to scale and you never do anything. There has to be a balance. Life is about balancing, and balancing is not having everything even. Balancing is like the clown who juggled 8 balls. He's not touching all the balls at the same time, but he touches it just as often enough to keep it going. So he can't touch more than 2 balls at a time, or 3, 4 the most. But he touches them often enough to keep them in rotation. That's what you have to do with life. You have to touch something good enough to keep your sanity, to keep things going, to keep it popping, to keep you motivated, to keep you refreshed and recharged. So start to research it. Decide that, look, I'm going to this might hold my business back a month or whatever, as long as you're keeping food on the table, but I'm going to get out there. I'm going to taste this, because what is happening now is only sacrifice. I'm not in default mode. I'm in a mode that I will get out of, and these vacations will be not a part of life for me. It will be a way of life. I will do it on demand when I want, because that's what I'm aiming for. So I'm going out there now to start to touch it so I can attract it to me. And you got to believe in it at that level. Raise your vibration in terms of how you think and act, and getting into the space, getting into it, touching it, being around it is a serious motivator. It has an attracting momentum type of vibe. So go for it. Research your stuff. Message me if you need any more information. You can find me on, just as how you found me before, and I'll give you some pointers. So have a good one. Hope you get out there and enjoy yourself, and then you probably can share with me what you did, and how was it, and how it felt, and I can promise you that down the road you'll be happy you did. Thank you.